Again, welcome back to Long Talks. Again, I promised, and I did promise you earlier, that we have a great show lineup for you today. First up, we're going to introduce a very, very talented and phenomenal young man from Jamaica, all over the world. He's been traveling and doing his thing, promoting his books. Let's welcome on stage the one and only, the incredible writer of all time, Mr. Andre Porter. Man, the writer, the phenomenon, everything, you name it, you've done it. But let's go back to the beginning. First off, I kind of understood that you weren't really trying to be a writer. You were more interested in being a lawyer.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it is from the Caribbean, you know, our parents at an early age, they like to ask us, you know, what's your ambition? You know, at age 3, I told my mom, you know, I'd love to become a lawyer. You know, but, you know, God has a way of changing our direction and leading us to destiny. You know, I came to America to apply for law school, never get there financially. One thing led to our next, and, you know, here it is today.
No, did you have like a backup to say if you didn't become a lawyer, you would be a writer?
Well, no, you know, because, you know, I had becoming a lawyer as my #1 plan.
Right.
You know, and, you know, I wasn't going to defer from that for anything. You know, but as I said, you know, God has a way of changing your direction and leading you to destiny. Because, like, who would have thought, you know, simple little Andre from Shooters Hill, Jamaica, then move to Westmoreland, you know, come to America and, you know, certified as an award-winning author.
Right.
So,
Wow,
you know,
that's
big up to God. No.
Yeah, of course, all the time. Thank you. Welcome back again to Long Talks. We have the man, the phenomenal writer, Mr. Andre Porter, and we're going to talk about all his works. I mean, this young man has done so much. You heard about, you know, how he's been through the struggles, and, you know, his aspiration of being a lawyer didn't come through because of financial aid. But nevertheless, we're here to try to, you know, let's see how, and it was a God-blessing gift because, hey, one didn't happen. Sometimes God is trying to tell you a story. Hey, if it didn't happen for you, it wasn't my will. So here he is, writer, author, you name it, he's done it. So straight into the book. The first book he's written, of course, is called The Rise and Fall of a Jamaican Don. The reason why this book is so interesting, I can't see if you can see it, but at the bottom it says, vision of a movie. So Mr. Porter, movie?
Most definitely, you know. I'd like to clarify the title of the book first.
Right, right.
Because it is a saying, you know, don't judge a book
by cover.
The book is not written to promote any gang or any person or any negative affiliation, you know. It's just my vision of a movie. Just as Hollywood has movies like, you know, The Godfather, Scarface, King of New York. And it's not to say any particular set of people are bad. You know, it's just the director's vision to bring them to the box office. You know, that's based on reality. No, as far as the movie is concerned, you know, Jamaica has had movies like Dancehall Queen, Top Shutters, Third World Craft, The Lunatic, just to name a few. But none of them presented as a major theatrical release. Now, when you look on the international impact that Jamaica has on in music, culture, and food on a global level, but yet still there are all these mainstream movies and you never, I mean, Jamaica, Bob Marley, look at the records he
Oh gosh.
Marcus Garvey started off the fight towards freedom long before Dr. King and Malcolm X.
He inspired those people.
You know, he inspired them so we can have Barack Obama as the first president. You see him go tour of the world. Barrington Irving, first Jamaican to fly around the world. There's so many numerous records. Colin Powell was the first strongest, you know, black man in the country. Jamaican. He's small. Who was his mom?
That's right.
Jamaican.
Exactly.
Jamaica's dominated almost every aspect.
And it was a Jamaican that started hip hop too.
Cool DJ Herc. Alright. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, you know, the only aspect of international culture that Jamaica has now broken into is having a major motion this year. You know, and we are on the road towards getting it.
Wow.
You know, as you mentioned earlier about the Iorama in 2006, I became the first author in the history of the Iorama, which is the Caribbean
28 years,
show, you know. And you have artists out there who has had #1 hits and has never been an Iorama. But that shows you that the work is certified and it's ready, as long as the Caribbean market comes behind it and say, you know what? We have some very powerful and influential people, you know, out of Jamaica who has made it to levels where you'll be able to assist a young author who didn't go to a major publisher or an agent or anything. I may take it up more back. You know what I mean? I'm going on the street because as a Jamaican, you go for survival and go for me.
Yeah man, hustle.
You know what I mean? Yeah, hustle all day, every day. You know, so I take it to a level now when I feel say, okay, then it's time for people to do what Mr. Longmore has done and what others has done, and say, you know what, let's join our resources to help in this young man create history, because it's going to benefit all of us.
For very much so. Now the title itself, The Rise and Fall of a Jamaican Don, I mean, when you first look at it, people from the outside, they say, boy, it must be a guy who was a Don in the community, and you know, he rise to the top, riches and everything, and then boom, fall to the bottom, and you would think that, okay, he got mixed up in some illegal stuff.
It's all a stereotype, and as I declared earlier, you know, it has nothing to do with any personal.
Right, right.
I was never a drug dealer, I was never a street dude, you know, I was always into the books, but it's just my creative time to present it, you know, to the world. The second book, Tears from My Pen, oh my God.
This is the one right here, ladies and gentlemen. This one, when you read this one, it's gonna make you feel like, you know. But I mean, briefly talk about that one.
Tears from My Pen. What should I? Oh gosh, about this book. It's based on the true confession of an investment banker.
Okay.
Who found out his wife was 6 weeks pregnant for another man infected with HIV.
Wow.
I know you really
I did.
But ladies and gentlemen out there, have you ever been in love before? Right? Yeah, they are broken. I understand, it's all good. This book, when you read this book, okay, and you meet a partner, if you want to have a long-lasting relationship, if you want to avoid the mistakes that you made in the past, if you want to know how to become a better lover and a better person, read Tears from My Pen. It's not a story, it's based on the facts of life. What would you do if the person you love, your woman, come home and you found out she was 6 weeks pregnant for the next man infected with HIV?
Wow.
Ladies, what would you do if your man come home and you find out that boy, you know, he's infected you with somebody else? You know, what do you do when a child is involved in that? This book has been sold out, right? And we're saying, you know what, we're trying to make it into an independent film. You know, take it to Hollywood. The Rise and Fall of Jamaican Don, we're trying to bring that to Main Street. Okay. But I strongly believe that if we do Tears from My Pen as our first independent movie, then we can take it to the film festivals, get to know the people within the industry, and hopefully they'll look into their talents and say, okay, let's take the Rise and Fall of Jamaican Don and make history with it. Okay. The Tears from My Pen, you can call it the key.
Thank you. Welcome back again. This is Long Talks. I'm here with, of course, the man, Mr. Porter, the author extraordinaire, and you heard some extensive talk about his, you know, first two books, Rise and Fall of a Jamaican Don and Tears from My Pen. And of course, Tears from My Pen, he said he's going to make it into a phenomenal movie, and we'll be right there to support him as well. All right. Now he had a third book. This man is not even 30-something yet, but you know, he's doing his thing. This one right here, trust me, this is the one that's going to make you cringe when you hear about it, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, The Mirror and the Reflection is a book it can scare some people, but I mean, you have to read the book to really understand what's going on. You have different form of, you know, religious setting in certain places, and of course, this one talks about one of them that's very popular in the islands. And Andre, I mean, hey, why did you write the book, and what's the book about? Who is the book about?
Mirror and the Reflection. When you look at it, you know what you see. Mirror and the Reflection is based on a true life story of a Obiaman, one of the most powerful Obiamen ever born.
Wow. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, not to cut you, Andre, if you want to know what Obiam really means, it's a spiritual cult. That's what it is. You know, it's a spiritual cult that goes on in a lot of the islands, even here in the U.S. So it's worldwide, and you know, that's what we're talking about. He wrote a book based on the West Indian part of it.
Exactly.